Tonight is the night. Bright lights, high crowd. Yeah, we came to throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn into the roar of the crowd. Stop your feet to the ground. Give it all to me now. Cause it calls for me, calls for my way. To the sound of the screams getting loud. Give it all to me now. Cause it calls for me, calls for me. Let's go up, she's all around.
Well guys, this is 2k17 Universe Mode with Kaisah Wrestling, and we are here on NXT, our first ever installment of the NXT brand in Universe Mode. And here comes none other than the NXT champion, Samoa Joe. And this man does not look happy at all, and we're going to tell you why in a couple of minutes. For what I understand, the general manager, William Regal, has told Samoa Joe that over the next couple of weeks here on NXT, we're going to be finding out who's going to face him for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver. So, Samoa Joe definitely marching to the ring to probably send a message to those superstars who think that they're going to defeat him for that title. And I don't think that's going to be an easy task for anybody, because this man knows how to win big matches. He knows how it is to carry this whole brand on his shoulders and leave the victor. So this may just be a plan that spits back in William Regal's face. We're going to find out what Samoa Joe has to say to the NXT universe. Now, I know a lot of you guys are excited about the plans that William Regal has regarding the NXT Championship, but I'm going to let you guys know right now that no matter who becomes my #1 contender, I'm going to destroy them at NXT TakeOver in the first pay-per-view that we ever have in Universe Mode. Nobody has what it takes to defeat me. Nobody has what it takes to carry this show on their back like I do. So I will reign supreme forever and always. Now, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to find out who's going to be my #1 contender in a series of matches. I don't know who's going to be involved, but here's a message for everybody in the locker room. If you feel that you're going to take me on and take my championship away, well, you're gladly mistaken, because I am the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, and I'm the greatest NXT champion of all time. So take that into consideration and accept that. So guys, this is what we're going to be working with today on our first ever NXT episode of Universe Mode. Of course, if you don't know me, my name is Kaisah Wrestling. I'm glad to be doing this yet again. And I just want to apologize for the little bit of a wait, because, you know, school's been pretty hectic lately. So I had to take some time to just do all my work and make sure that was all done. But I'm back to you now with Universe Mode. So all the waiting is over. So you heard what Samoa Joe said. Over the next couple of weeks on NXT, we're going to be finding out who the #1 contender will be. So I think that's going to actually be starting next week, as said by William Regal. So stay tuned for that. But we have Nia Jax taking on Aaliyah today. Some nice women division action. My apologies. Eric Young is going to be going one-on-one with Rich Swann, as Eric Young is going to be having all members of Sanity in his corner, when Rich Swann just has his partner and No Way Jose to back him up. Will Rich Swann be able to upset Eric Young? We have Ty Dillinger in action going one-on-one against Elias Sampson. This match right here could have pretty big indications. Will either of these men be considered to be #1 contender for Samoa Joe's championship? So this right here is actually one of our featured matches, Grand Metalik versus Austin Aries, as William Regal is doing such a great job as general manager, as over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be finding out who is going to be the next Cruiserweight champion. As you heard me right, the Cruiserweight Championship and the Cruiserweight division is going to be exclusive to NXT. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be finding out who's going to be members of a 6-man battle royal at NXT TakeOver, and the winner of that match will be the next Cruiserweight champion. So the winner of this match right here will be the first entrant into that 6-man battle royal, Grand Metalik versus Austin Aries. And then we have our next featured matchup, which is our main event, because we have some tag team action. This is going to be TM61 versus the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. So let's take a look at what we have. Nia Jax versus Aaliyah. Aaliyah gets the victory over Nia Jax. That's a pretty good upset right there. And now Eric Young versus Rich Swann. Will he be able to do it? Eric Young unfortunately defeats Rich Swann. Ty Dillinger versus Elias Sampson. Sampson gets the victory over Ty Dillinger. And then we're going to get to our match, Grand Metalik versus Austin Aries. Well guys, William Regal is really outdoing himself right now. as we have some cruiserweight action going on, and we're finding out just now that the cruiserweight division is going to be exclusive to NXT. So we're going to be finding out our inaugural cruiserweight champion at the next NXT Takeover pay-per-view. So this right here is a man who calls himself the King of the Ropes, and that man is Gran Metalik, as he is looking to make his mark right here in NXT, facing off against Austin Aries. This is a really big challenge in front of Gran Metalik. A lot of people don't really think that Gran Metalik is going to be leaving with the victory today, but hopefully he'll be able to make the upset. This man is as impressive as it gets. If you guys watch the Cruiserweight Championship, the Cruiserweight Classic on WWE Network, you already know that Gran Metalik is not somebody to mess with. He is a man to take seriously, and he is a man who will get the victory right under the radar. But Austin Aries, the self-proclaimed greatest man that's ever lived, and a lot of people may be a little bit confused of why Aries is not really competing for the NXT championship, but you never know. Maybe Aries is a jack of all trades and he's gonna want to probably compete for everything. So Austin Aries is on his way to the ring right now, and when we found out that Aries was going to be in this little mini, I don't want to say tournament, it's kind of more just a whole bunch of qualifying matches to get to that 6-man battle royal to find out who the Cruiserweight champion will be. So we have a lot of great cruiserweights coming your way on NXT. I'm not gonna do too much to spoil the party, as I want you guys to be pretty surprised in the next coming weeks on NXT. But as you already know, these two names in Aries and Metalik are already as big as it gets. So who knows, maybe we may see some appearances from your favorite NXT or cruiserweight superstars for that matter. So we're going to get right into this one right here. Metalik versus Aries, as I am as hype as it gets to be calling the action here on NXT, as NXT honestly is one of those brands that you cannot help but just falling in love with. All the competition, all the grit, determination, and all of the superstars' faces, they're just trying to make a name, hopefully making the WWE main roster in the future. So now Aries going right after Metalik to start out. So I know I don't want to be that guy to talk about other shows during NXT, but as you saw earlier on today, Brock Lesnar is going to be making his return to the next episode of Universe Mode, which is Monday Night Raw, as we're going to be following up on that huge Strowman Universal Championship victory. So you definitely are not going to want to miss the next episode of Universe Mode. As right now, Aries has Metalik on the outside. The referee would have counted 6 already. This is not looking good for Aries or Metalik. Metalik needs to try to get Aries in the ring, as now Metalik tosses Aries into the ring post. The referee is counted. These men need to get back in the ring. This may end in a double count out actually. Aries picks up Metalik, and look at this, as right now this match ends in a dual count out. Aries and Metalik, neither man getting the victory right now, but I just got a word from General Manager William Regal that this match is not gonna start this way, so it's not gonna end this way. So we're gonna get back to you in just a little bit. We are back here on NXT, and William Regal has restarted this match between Metalik and Aries because he did not want this match to end in a count-out victory. A man has to be the victor. So this right here is I wouldn't want to say a no disqualification match, but there's some special indications, as I think that the count-out portion of the match is not really going to matter as much, because William Regal knows that one of these men has to go into that 6-man battle royal. So I guess Aries was letting his temper get the better of him, as he was just beating Metalik on the outside. But now Metalik going back to the outside. They need to avoid this, because this is exactly why they got counted out the first time. These two men were just having too much of a good time on the outside, as now Aries just stomping all over Gran Metalik. Gran Metalik is not the type of guy that likes to face a grounded opponent, so I'm pretty shocked that Metalik is taking things to the outside against Austin Aries. There goes another drop kick there by Metalik. The referee count up to 5. These guys are really utilizing the outside. They need to get back in that ring. I'm telling you, they may get counted out for the second time. This is ridiculous, guys. As now Metalik tosses Aries down. Metalik is inside the ring, and look at this. Grand Metalik breaking the count. He does not want this match to end that way. These two men just do not like each other. They're going right after each other, giving them everything that they can handle. This Aries going after Metalik. Metalik going after Aries, and now we got Aries doing a little bit of a dancer there in the spotlight. As now, nice Hurricane Rana there by Grand Metalik, but they need to pay close attention to that count. It's the referee count up to 5 again. These men do not want to get in that ring. I'm telling you, these guys are relentless against each other. Now look at Aries. There goes the atomic drop onto Metalik. As now Aries runs inside the ring. As he makes the count, Metalik make it counted out here. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, guys. Austin Aries using the count out victory to get the better of Grand Metalik. And I'm honestly very disappointed because this match is nowhere near as good as I wanted it to be. And I'm pretty sure William Regal is not pleased either. But either way, we have a victor, and that man is Austin Aries. So this man, Austin Aries, may have picked up the count out victory, but the fact of the matter is that it is a victory. So Aries will be moving on to the 6-man battle royal at TakeOver. Who's going to be joining this man over the next couple of weeks as we find out on NXT. But we're going to get to our main event, as it is going to be TM61 versus the Revival. Well, guys, that may not have been the way that we wanted to start NXT. But either way, Austin Aries is the man who's moving ahead in that 6-man battle royal. So we have TM61 right here trying to make a name for themselves. And honestly, if they get this victory over the Revival, they can definitely guarantee that they're going to probably be getting an NXT championship shot, an NXT tag team championship shot in the future. So we're about to see the two best teams in NXT collide tonight. As that right there on your left is Shane Thorne, on your right is Nick Miller. Well, these men definitely be able to make a name for themselves. So it's been confirmed by William Regal that 2 weeks from now, which is not the next episode of Universe Mode or for NXT Universe Mode, but the following NXT Universe Mode episode will be Austin Aries versus Grand Metalik in a Falls Count Anywhere match because of the actions that just happened now. I mean, even though Austin Aries is going to be the one going to NXT TakeOver in that 6-man battle royal, we want to see who's the better man is. We want to see who the winner of that match definitely should have been. So I think we're going to put Metalik and Austin Aries in a Falls Count Anywhere match to see where that goes. So that right there is going to be a main event in 2 weeks on NXT. But right now we have the Revival. This is Dawson and Wilder. These two men are the top guys. These are your NXT Tag Team Champions, and they are definitely going to make an impact here on NXT. So these two guys, the first ever NXT Tag Team Champions here in Universe Mode, but they have some good competition in Shane Thorne and Nick Miller in TM61. So we have a lot of tag teams on NXT. I did not really want to get too much into that because of the fact that I wanted you guys to really get to know what was going on NXT and the other shows as well. But we do have a certain amount of tag teams on NXT, as we have the Revival, we have TM61, DIY, the Authors of Pain, we have Sanity, and we also have Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks also joining us on NXT. So that right there is a little bit of our international star power that we're going to be adding to the NXT roster. So we have a lot of good tag teams to choose from. And honestly, I feel like the two men that the two teams that you're seeing right now are in the top of their game, and they are just going to literally blow the tag team division away with their skills. But right now, Nick Miller and Shane Thorne will have nothing more than to put away Dawson and Wilder for those championships. So the only way to get a championship shot against Dawson and Wilder is if they're able to top them off today. But right now, Scott Dawson kind of using his experience to play around with Shane Thorne. So I know that we literally just got off the subject, but the whole entire Aries and Metalik situation, like they were able, first they got a double count out. But then William Regal was able to change things around and be like, no, we need to have a actual winner, we need to have somebody who's going to be going into that 6-man battle royal, because you're both not going in there. So Aries took the cheap victory, getting the count out over Metalik, and literally all he did to knock Metalik out on the outside was just trip him. So that right there just shows you how unpredictable NXT can be. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to find out who's going to be joining Aries 6-man battle royal for the inaugural Cruiserweight Championship. But then we have so much more in store for you, as well as we got the women's division. We have Bayley, Nia Jax, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Aaliyah, Ember Moon. Oh, so much great superstars here on NXT for the indie women's division. So definitely the women's division matches are not going to be bathroom breaks. They're not going to be just a time that you can just text your friends. They're going to be something that you want to pay attention to, because the action is always going to be red hot here on NXT, especially after that huge announcement by William Regal. Well, we got the message through the NXT champion Samoa Joe, but William Regal is the man who made it happen. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be finding out. We're going to be scouting to see who deserves a championship shot, and I'm pretty sure that William Regal over the next couple of weeks will probably make a #1 contenders match featuring either 2 of those top competitors, 3 of those top competitors, hey, even 6 of those top competitors. We don't really know. I mean, definitely leave some comments if you got some feedback on that, as our NXT roster is out of this world. We have the likes of Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, Elias Sampson, Ty Dillinger, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, Andrade Cien Almas, No Way Jose, a whole surplus of superstars on NXT. So definitely don't look at NXT as kind of like the B show to Raw and SmackDown. As this is as good as it gets. You're going to be seeing the superstars of tomorrow get a chance to showcase their skills. As right now, we're going to get back into this match. I'm going to stop talking because I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing my voice. As we have Nick Miller with a buckle bomb to Dash Wilder into the corner. And now Nick Miller of TM61 locks him up in the half crab. I think Dash Wilder may be in trouble. He's going to have to try to get the tag to Scott Dawson. It's one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions in dire straits right now, as Dash Wilder able to kick off Nick Miller. So before you guys ask, like, when is TakeOver, how is those shows going to work, pretty much we're going to be having a TakeOver every 2 months, because I'm going to try my best to not really overload you guys with too much NXT material. And hold that thought, as right now Nick Miller turns down Wilder. I think that was like a power bomb, Blue Thunder bomb sort of move there, but that was a spinning power bomb. But Scott Dawson able to break that up. Nick Miller not able to keep him down for long. But yeah, so as far as the NXT TakeOver shows work, every 2 months you're going to be expecting a TakeOver. So that's going to be six TakeOvers per calendar year. And I think that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Is this going to be the second week of the second month? So for instance, we have the Extreme Rules pay-per-view coming up in a number of weeks. So after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, 2 weeks after that is going to be the TakeOver pay-per-view. So I have to honestly look at the calendar to remember which TakeOver it is. I don't know if it's Brooklyn or Dallas, but we'll see. I'll find out which one it is. Definitely let you guys know in the next coming weeks. But as right now, TM61 is looking the goods. As Nick Miller was able to put Dash Wilder down with that spinning power bomb, and ever since then has been all TM61 in control of this match. Now Nick Miller going for another buckle bomb, but this time to Scott Dawson, drops him right in the corner. Nick Miller definitely the MVP of this match. If he's able to knock off the Revival, I think Shane Thorne owes his partner a huge thank you, as Nick Miller's been very impressive. So Dash and Dawson, these two men are as good as it gets. Probably one of the best tag teams in all of WWE. I mean, of course, we have to think about your Usos and Gallows and Andersons and teams like that, but you know, the Revival, they're no slouch. I mean, they will tell you that they're the best tag team in history. That could be argued, but you definitely cannot deny the skill of the Revival, as these two men know how to win a match. These two men know how to manipulate their opponents as well. So Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, definitely two dangerous superstars in the ring, and to have them combined on a tag team is just, it's worse for wear. So now here we go, as Scott Dawson going after Shane Thorne now in the ring, trying to go for the leg right there to try to cup the knee, but instead he gets put down by an Olympic slam sort of move there by Shane Thorne. So I definitely want to hear some of your guys' feedback for these universe modes, as I already know that this is the first week. This is just the beginning of universe mode, so I'm not expecting everybody to be head over heels for this universe mode. But trust me, I mean, I think honestly for the first week of universe mode, it's been pretty successful. We're having the return of Lesnar at the next episode of Monday Night Raw, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna get really good. It only gets better from here. As now we have Dash Wilder trying to go for the cover on Shane Thorne, but it's be enough to put TM61 away, and no, Shane Thorne able to kick out at 2.5. I know Dash Wilder will love nothing more than to finish off TM61 right now, because I know he's still feeling the effects of that spinning powerbomb by Nick Miller earlier on in the match. But now he's trying to pick up the pieces. I'm just happy that this match didn't end by countout just yet. But I mean, I may just have changed myself there, so don't quote me on that. But wait a minute. No, Shane Thorne getting the inside cradle on Dash Wilder, and that right there is it. TM61 getting the upset victory over the Revival tonight. Wow, what does that show you guys right there? I mean, if it's me, I think that TM61 are well on their way to a NXT Tag Team Championship opportunity. As that right there was that move by Shane Thorne clocking Scott Dawson right in the jaw. And Dash Wilder was the one who got pinned by Shane Thorne by that inside cradle. I think Scott Dawson tagging in Dash Wilder was probably the worst mistake of his life, as we told you earlier on that Scott Dawson or Dash Wilder was still feeling the effects of that spinning powerbomb, and Shane Thorne was able to take quick advantage. Just look at it. I think it was right here. It's Shane Thorne grabbing Dash Wilder into that small package cradle, and now that right there was it. So TM61, the Australian fighters, definitely looking good today. And that right there is going to wrap up your episode of NXT. As next week, we're going to be finding out who may be a possible contender for Samoa Joe's NXT Championship. That and more when we return to NXT. Well, that right there is your third episode of Universe Mode. Do not miss the next episode, which is Monday Night Raw and Brock Lesnar's big return. My name is Kaisah Wrestling, and like always, you guys take care. Have a great day. Leave a like and comment in the comment section.